So, can you build muscle after 50? Absolutely yes, especially if you're a beginner or intermediate person. Hey guys, Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and today I want to give you 5 tips on how to build muscle after 50. And of course, that behooves the point, can you build muscle after 50? Of course you can, guys, especially you guys that are total beginners and the guys that are watching right now that haven't worked out in years and years. You guys are the prime examples of people who can really build a lot of muscle after 50. Guys that have been working out religiously, year after year after year, you guys can still build muscle, but it's much harder to build muscle because you're closer to your genetic potential already. If you've really been pushing yourself all these years. If you've just been coasting, you too can add a lot of muscle. All right. So basically, the closer you are to a total beginner, the more muscle you can actually build. And I got 5 tips for you. Okay, so tip number 1 is progressive overload. And basically that's just a fancy way of saying you got to push yourself harder and harder and harder. You can't just hit a plateau and then cruise control it for the rest of your life, okay? Your muscles, your body is really smart. Your muscles are very, very clever. So what they will do is they will adapt and grow for the task that you're throwing at them, okay? And then if that task never gets more difficult, then they stop growing. Simple as that. So, my little Fit After 50 program that so many guys have tried is basically this. I mean, you got some resistance bands, some dumbbells. I have a bench. You don't even need a bench. I recommend it, but guys, you have to keep track of your workouts. That's the only way you can do progressive overload, unless you just have an unbelievable memory, okay? So all of my workouts, okay, are designed so that you can print them out on a single sheet of paper. That way you can make notes. There's actually a column specifically on the paper, okay, when you print it out, for notes, where you're supposed to write down how much weight you used in dumbbells, or how many, pounds of resistance in your bands that you used for every single exercise. You just keep it. Just keep a little notebook, okay? And then I want you to try to increase that resistance every few weeks, okay? You won't be able to do it every week, but if you're pushing yourself hard, you'll be able to do more weight after 3 weeks of doing the same workout routine, okay? And if you can't quite add, all right, the next dumbbell weight, all right, because it's just too big of a jump, what you do is just increase the number of reps you're doing on each exercise. That's the progressive overload. So you either do more reps, you do heavier weight, or you do more volume, more sets, more circuits. So guys, it also ties into another concept, which is intensity. Okay, basically how hard you push yourself. So guys, you have to overload the muscles. Every time you force your muscles to lift a weight that they're not used to lifting, they respond by getting bigger and stronger. Overnight when you're sleeping, when they're rebuilding with protein, the whole 9 yards. So guys, progressive overload is critical. And the only way to do progressive overload is to push yourself, which is another way of saying intensity. All right, this second tip is the easiest, all right? That first one is pretty tough. Pushing yourself is always kind of painful. But the number 2 is, guys, try a supplement, all right? We have some fantastic supplements, and the one that I want you to try is something called Anabolic Reload, okay? You just take a couple pills in the morning. It's real straightforward. This is a testosterone booster, all right? So this is not testosterone in and of itself. It's got a bunch of natural ingredients in there. Please click the link below this video, because it will take you to our website where it talks about Anabolic Reload. All the ingredients that are in there and why we put them in there. So what this does is it helps increase our body's natural production of testosterone. So why is that important to building muscle after 50? Well, guess what, guys? The higher T levels are, the more efficient your body is at building muscle. It's just that simple. And not only that, but the higher your T levels are, the more efficient your body is at using fat as a source of energy instead of just relying on carbs. So high T levels mean you can build muscle easier, and you burn more fat. It's a double whammy. It's a no-brainer, guys. And the other thing is, we have by far and away the best guarantee in the fitness industry. If it doesn't work for you, and it won't work for everybody, okay, just let us know. We'll refund your money. But guys, when you're looking at our website and reading all about the product, scroll down below the product and read some of those reviews. We have dozens and dozens of fantastic reviews. Those are all real people all around the world who've tried anabolic reload, and it's something that you need to try too. Okay, so this third tip is a nutrition related tip, and that is, if you're pushing yourself hard in your workouts, that's number one, right? Tip number one. If you're doing the progressive overload, if you've increased your intensity, then your muscles actually get torn down. We damage those muscle fibers. It's intentional. All right. And then at night when we're sleeping, they start to recover and rebuild. Well, your body uses protein, all right, as a source to rebuild those muscle fibers. And if you're not getting enough protein in your daily diet, then your muscles won't recover fully. All right, they won't get 100% of the bang for the buck of workout that you put in. And man, don't cheat yourself. All right, if you're kicking ass, all right, in your workouts, you want to get 100% of the potential muscle growth out of those workouts. And if you're not getting enough protein, you might be getting muscle growth, but you might only be getting 50% of the potential muscle growth. All right, so guys, you need to eat, I would say, at least 0.7 of a gram of protein for each pound of ideal body weight. What do I mean by ideal? If you weigh 400 pounds, all right, you don't want to take 400, multiply it by 0.7 and come up with your protein source, all right? Your ideal weight might really be 200 pounds, okay? So use your ideal weight. Once you've lost the fat that you would like to lose and get into, kind of fighting shape, so to speak, you want 0.7 of a gram of protein for each pound of ideal weight. Now, for you guys that are really getting after it, all right, and I'm one of those guys. I mean, I'm killing it, at the gym when I'm working out. I try to get 1 gram of protein for each pound of ideal body weight. And I think I'm pretty close to my ideal weight. So basically, I weigh about 200 pounds, which means I try to get 200 grams of protein every day. And that's hard for me to do just eating whole foods. So guys, try a protein supplement. Okay, I take protein powder, and it's great. I buy a whey protein, and it's the only way I personally can eat enough food, all right, to get to my protein goal. Otherwise, I would just be stuffing myself with chicken and fish and beef and eggs all day long, and I just can't eat that much. So a protein powder is totally legit to reaching your protein goals on a daily basis. All right, tip number 4, guys, is if possible, get into a routine. I've kind of fallen into, a routine. I go to the gym at basically the same time every day. And if you can, that really will help. Some of you guys, I realize with work and all that kind of stuff, you might travel a lot. It may be almost impossible to get into your routine. So you guys just have to get your workout in whenever possible. But if you can get into a routine, your mind, your psyche kind of gets used to it, and your body can get up and ready to go if you're hitting it hard at the same time every day. So some of you guys are morning guys. I hate the morning. I just can't. My body doesn't work. But some guys love morning workouts. Dude, that's a great routine if it works for you. Some guys have got to go during their lunch break. Some guys have got to go in the afternoons or early evening right after work. It doesn't matter. But if you can get a routine, it helps you stick with it. And that's what I always say at the end of every video, right? Stick with it, because consistency is key, and having a routine helps with consistency. Now, the 5th and final tip to building muscle, guys, is get some support. All right, encouragement really does help. If you can get a workout buddy, fantastic. I've had some great workout buddies on and off over the years, and it's hard. It's hard to get 2 guys to sync up their schedule so that you can work out at the same time. But when I did have workout buddies, it was fantastic. They both of them, or all of them, I guess I should say, there's been several, have been like 30 years younger than me. Okay, so that was kind of fun. So they really pushed me hard, and I pushed them hard because they didn't want some old fart 30 years older beating them in the gym, okay? So fantastic workout days, you know, when we were hitting it together. Uh, I know because there was someone there kind of pushing me, I was able to lift more weight. I was able to do more reps, more sets, more intensity. And I did. I grew. I got bigger and stronger when I had a workout buddy. You guys can do it with your wives. That is totally fine. That is legit to have someone there. They don't have to be bigger and stronger or younger than you. You just need to have someone there to kind of encourage you, and you know, vice versa, you encourage them. And then another way to do it, you know, it's not a workout buddy per se, but we got that fantastic Facebook group that I always talk about. And that group is a good way to basically hold yourself accountable, especially if you're a guy that will post in the group. We got a lot of guys that use Facebook as their workout buddy to hold them accountable. All right. So lots of different ways, all right, to get support. But if possible, I promise, I've read several studies that talk about how support, whether it's in person, like a workout buddy, or a group type mentality, helps with your workouts. Okay, so can you build muscle after 50? Absolutely yes, especially if you're a beginner or intermediate person. You guys are really lucky. You guys got, you know, long way to go as far as improvement. So you can also lose a ton of fat at the same time that you're building the muscle. And that's another thing why just weighing yourself, okay, to track your progress is not the best way to go. Take progress pics because, you know, you're building muscle and you're losing fat at the same time, and sometimes those things kind of break even. And then, guys, look, I mean, how much equipment do you really need? Not much. You just need consistency. You got to stick with it and never give up on yourself.